Today's review is Samurai 360, the knife that rolls. Alright guys, this is going to be kind of a long video. Sorry about that, but I've got a lot of things to cut up, so I'm going to spare the talking and get right to it. First up, we're going to try this cucumber. In the commercial they had it cut in half like this, and he was just sweeping through. So let's see if it can work that well. This is the first test, Samurai 360. Enjoy this. He's definitely cutting. I'm not sure that my pieces are really that even, but I'm not sure if I can get that kind of speed up. Let me see. See if I can go fast like he does in the commercial. I don't know about that fast. One thing I noticed is that these safety switches here were down a little bit, so I don't think it was rolling that well. So I'm going to try doing it again now that I made sure these are in place. I didn't touch them before, so I don't know how they got out of place, but I made sure they're in place now. It seems like it's rolling a little bit better, so let's try again. All right, it's definitely rolling better now that I fixed that. Okay, I mean, I still don't feel like I have the precision because you see how they're not all equal in size, but it does seem like it's pretty sharp and it was cutting through them a lot better. So lesson learned on this first test is that you have to make sure these are not, they were only like halfway down. Here's the one I'm looking forward to. In the advertising, he swipes through these brownies in a couple seconds. I'm gonna do a couple passes here, and then I'm gonna try this pizza cutter and see if the pizza cutter can cut as well as the Samurai 360. That was pretty good. Hey, that was pretty fast. Once you get it started, very quick. Hey, I'm happy with how well that cut. Not bad at all. Now let's see if the pizza cutter can cut that efficiently. This is a pretty sharp pizza cutter. Let's see how that goes. Not bad until I get to the edge. Let's see. Kind of have to push that down a little bit. Let me try a couple more of these edges with Samurai 360 and see if it handles these edges better. Well, it still cut through them better. So I would say the Samurai 360 was certainly sharper in that test than the pizza cutter. That looks good. All right, the next test on the commercial, they show someone cutting 3 carrots at the same time, so let's see how that goes. Oh, I don't know about that. Hold on. I mean, it's not, I mean, I roll it and it just hits a brick wall right there. It seems like it's almost better chopping it. I'm gonna push really hard and see if I can duplicate what they were doing. I'm gonna get some elbow grease into this one, right? Here we go. Okay. All right, so I'm not sure that's really a very efficient way to cut carrots. It was really getting stuck in there when I went through them, so I'm gonna say carrots are no-go. The commercial shows 2 different demonstrations on the tomato. Cutting them, which I'll do, but the first thing they do is the guy actually throws a tomato with the blade and slices it cleanly in half. I'm pretty skeptical, but I'll give it a shot. Let's see he does it just like this. All right, ready? Here we go. Well, I mean, it worked better than I thought it would. That's kind of cool, actually. Look at that. Maybe I needed a smaller tomato. I don't know. What if I were to cut this in half? Let me try throwing half a tomato at it. 1, 2. Well, I mean, it's not that bad. The fact that it didn't just bounce off, it says something, I guess, but it almost cut it in half. I don't know. I think it's a little bit exaggerated maybe in the demonstration, but it's not terrible. So here we go with the actual tomato cutting test. Oops, see, here we go again, look at this. See that? See, these things right here get off, and you've got to push it back up. That's what's happened to me twice now. If it stops rolling, that could be part of the problem. All right, here we go. See, with this large tomato, I don't know how I'm going to do that. I might actually have to cut that down. All right, so I cut this tomato down a little bit to give myself some room because it doesn't really cut really large objects that well, so I had to cut this down a little bit. We're going to try it one more time. Again, as with the cucumber, I don't feel like I'm getting quite the precision that I would like. If you see how these pieces are all, I mean, that's not bad really, but they're not all the exact same size. I think it cuts the tomatoes actually pretty well. It's not quite as precise. Like you can see I've got some larger pieces, some are kind of diagonal instead of straight, but it's quick. I mean, I give it that, it's definitely quick. All right, so now we're gonna try to do a block of cheese and just see how that goes. Not bad. You know, I actually have a hard time seeing what I'm doing. Look at that, that's not good. Maybe I have to do it more straight up. Well, I mean, as you can see, you know, if it's a little bit thicker, you might get some food on the handle, yeah. As far as going fast goes, let's see if I can go fast to this, like they do in the commercial. Barely clears it. So let's see if I can do it this way. I mean, it cuts through it, but you know, my sizes are all over. Look at that. My sizes are all over the place. Because I actually have a hard time seeing it because when I'm cutting from this angle, I can't see how much room I have over there. I actually have to hold my hand this way and look from the other side. I guess I could do it this way. But then how am I holding it? See, now I need to be left-handed to hold that. So anyways, I mean, it definitely cuts the cheese. It just doesn't cut it with a lot of precision. Now for time for some meats here. First up is a grilled chicken breast, and let's see how it does with that. Well, I mean, you know, it certainly worked as far as that goes. I had to put more pressure going through the chicken than I did on most of the vegetables, but it did work, so I can't take away from Samurai 360 on the chicken breast. How well can it cut half a potato? The reason it's a half a potato because the full potato is really too tall for me to get it all the way through there, so I had to cut it in half. That could be a limitation, maybe not a big deal, but that's what I have to do for this one. I think that those are a little bit better than some of my first tries with it because I was stopping to kind of realign myself. So I think I did a pretty good job. I didn't have to use that much pressure with it. So the potato, not bad. We have one more. Did we do the pizza? Oh my God. No rolling cutter would be complete without seeing how it works on a pizza. So let's see how it goes with this basic pepperoni pizza. Okay, you know, I mean, that's pizza cutter level cutting. It's very sharp. It's probably sharper than the average pizza cutter. So in that respect, I think it did a pretty good job. All right, the final test, the Samurai 360, is a nice, big, juicy steak. I don't know about that. I think a knife would be a little bit better than that. I mean, just for comparison's sake, here's just a very basic knife. Let's see how that looks. compared to this. I mean, it cuts. It doesn't really feel as good as just these. I mean, this isn't even a very good knife. And it's on par with the Samurai 360. That's not for the video. Now for the part you probably don't want to ask about, and that's cleaning it. To clean it, you've got to disassemble it. And the blade is not dishwasher safe, only the handle is. So to disassemble it, you have to put this little cover here across the blade, which seems a little bit treacherous. Push these. Oh no, it's supposed to be down. Wait. Okay, it's supposed to be down. All right, look at this. You get nastiness all in there, so you've got to clean it out. You can't not clean it. So then when you do that, then this lifts out. And this center part, you just kind of pinch and it comes up, but you got to take it out because look at that. That's going to stay in there. You've got to clean it. Blade has to be cleaned by hand. The rest you can either clean by hand or you can put in the dishwasher. But you got to take the blade out if you want to clean it. And you're going to have to take the blade out because it traps food inside there without taking it apart. A couple of quick features I didn't mention were that it does come with a stand where you can place it in there like that. That's kind of a nice feature. There's also this pastry knife, which I didn't really find much use for, but it is included. And the other thing is that there's they call this here a brake, which you can squeeze down. It doesn't really function like a button, it just kind of squishes in, but you push that in and it stops the blade from rolling. So you can use that for chopping, and although I found that chopping was fine even without pushing it, which I guess you're not supposed to use it that way, but that's another feature is the brake. I didn't mention that. All right, so I know that was a lot, so let me try to recap quickly. Samurai 360 is sharp and works on some foods. As you can see, it kind of went easily through the brownies, through the cucumber, through the potato, not as much through the steak. It's not as effective on tall foods because the food will start hitting the handle and that becomes kind of a problem. It has to be disassembled to be cleaned because if you don't clean it, you're going to get food stuck in that handle and that's not good. The blade is not dishwasher safe, but the handle is. How durable is it? That's something I'm going to have to post in a follow-up because I'll need to use this for a while to see how long the blade lasts and how well it stands up over time. So when I post a follow-up, I'll put that in the description below. If you want to see more of this type of blade in action, I suggest checking out the 2 Cent Chicks channel. They actually have a really good review of a very similar blade, so check them out. I'll put a link below. So that's the Samurai 360. Tell me what you think about it in the comments below, and if you like this video, I'd appreciate a subscribe so I can continue to bring you as seen on TV product reviews in the future. Until next time, this is James White with Frequent Reviews. Thank you.